In this video, I'm going to outline ways you can start changing your life. I used to be the guy who would wake up every single day already waiting to come back home. I even see this with my coworkers nowadays, bro. And this is low-key how I used to think while I was in school. And I'll be honest right now, sometimes I do think like that at work. I get to work, I'm like, all right, man, like I just want to go home already. Like as soon as I walk in the building, I want to go home. However, the only reason I used to think like this on a constant basis was because I was in love with comfort. And yeah, even though I was just a kid, most of my days were a constant loop of just meaningless routine. And even go 5-6 months back, some days are still like that for me. But from what I've analyzed, bro, people carry this loop all the way to the grave. The first way you can start changing your life is stop chasing comforts and really start to chase the feeling of accomplishment. With that being said, bro, if you really break down the mindset of always thinking 8 hours ahead, aching for the clock to hit a certain time so you can just go home and distract yourself with whatever you distract yourself with, you need to like kind of ask yourself, bro, okay, what are you chasing? Because it's definitely not the feeling of accomplishment. You chase that nice soothing feeling of, coming home, chilling on the couch, scrolling through your favorite social media app, eating your favorite food, watching your favorite YouTuber, or watching your favorite Netflix series. Not saying there's anything wrong with entertainment. Watch whatever the hell you want. I don't, by all means, I don't have any place to tell anybody how to live their lives. But you need to start having the production rate be higher than your consumption rate. But I know that feeling, man. It feels fucking good. Sometimes I was never ashamed that I binge watched The Office and sat back and ate cookies. I even fell to this a few weeks ago. I watched all of the TV show Limitless. I ate cookies and I drank like 4 or 5 French vanillas within like a whole week. And honestly, Limitless, that TV show is... There's a TV show and there's a movie, but the TV show is my guilty pleasure, I'm not gonna lie. But this is where the problem starts. We're not really aware of how hindering these things are, bro, and honestly, it's because it's so normalized within what we choose to consume. So what I literally started to do, bro, is start consuming people who aren't normalizing this type of activity. And I chose to consume people who are chasing accomplishment. The thing about chasing accomplishment, bro, is that you get the same feeling if you were to, chase comfort and watch Netflix for 4 or 5 hours in a day. The only difference is that comfort, that feeling that you get of accomplishment or that you're doing something is actually earned and it takes longer to obtain. People really do get the feeling of accomplishment after finishing a whole Netflix series. It's actually crazy. But that feeling should not be a scroll away, or that feeling should not be a button away. I think that's what's holding society back a lot, to be honest. And it held me back for a long time too. And you can get that feeling of accomplishment with pornography as well, but that's a whole separate video. Everybody has dreams and has goals and wants to accomplish a lot, but to be honest, their daily routine says otherwise. And that leads me to my next point. Reverse engineer your life upon your desires and long-term goals. What's your 10-year plan, bro? If you don't have one, okay, then it's time to figure that one out. It's not a rush. I'm not pressuring you to have that 10-year plan, but you need to start kind of thinking this way. Once you have that, you need to start to break it down into segments, all the way to your daily routines and your daily thinking patterns. Like, what do you really want? Like, common goals for us guys, have a nice body, get more bitches, be able to talk to girls better, get more money, start a business, all those kind of things. Whatever it may be, you need to make sure that what you're doing on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis is lining up with your wants and your desires. Because if it's not, bro, the sad truth is that I just don't think they're going to happen. Like, if you want a 6-pack, man, how the fuck are you expect to get there if you're eating Kit Kats and Ferrero Rochers? And I'm talking to myself right now, bro. Like, I'm 18% body fat and I fucking hate my body, my guy. I'm trying to cut down as much. I'm trying to cut down, but low key, I say I want to do it. I say I want to do this. I'm human. I say I want to do it. I say I want to do it. And low key, what I eat on a daily or weekly basis does not line up with what I want. And there's no excuses for this, but the reason why I struggle with this so much is because I use the traditional way of, being fit. And I said, okay, if it fits my macros, I'm fine. And honestly, I think that kind of mindset is definitely holding me back from getting into the best shape of my life. Because it's literally causing me to lack discipline to eat clean foods for a long period of time. Like, I've done it twice in my life to the point where I cut down nicely and I bulked nice. But after that second time I fell off, or after the third time I fell off, I've actually never been able to get to that point again. It's the same with anything, bro. You need to reverse engineer and create a clear path. Like, even if you have a goal of getting over your social anxiety, let's just say you didn't have social anxiety your whole life. Let's say there was a point where you didn't have social anxiety and you gained it over time, whether that be through some traumas or some different things that happen in your life. You need to start creating a plan on how you can get back to that point. That's how I did it. I had crazy social anxiety, bro, and I wanted it gone for good. So I had to think to myself, okay, when I was a social butterfly, what was I doing? And most of the times, bro, I was just being myself in social interactions. I was making people laugh. I was making things awkward on purpose and making people laugh at me because I was just being weird. And these were the times when I was my happiest. But to get back to that point, I had to start really small, bro. It started off with my siblings and my parents, and then it carried on to sometimes my cousins and my aunties in that sort of arena. And then it carried to my friends and my little friend group, and then it carried out to the random ass kids in school. For those who don't know, bro, I used to like freestyle and rap in school, and I posted on my Snapchat, and then I ended up just freestyling at school, and people were like, yo, you can rap, da 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 da. I just used to be kind of a dumbass in school, but that's what got me out of my social anxiety. And then 4 months down the road, boom, my social anxiety was gone. And then I found myself in MLM trying to get people into my business. The next way is to be open to detours along the way. My goal in life is to have freedom, my own source of income, have peace of mind, and be someone who contributes to society in a very positive way. I've always been the kid who gave other people advice, and I've gave other kids my age advice, and there's even times now where I'm giving people who are older than me advice, and it kind of feels wrong. But yeah, man, I'm talking all the way back to the 6th grade. Even a lot of people used to say, yo, you should just be a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I'm stupid as fuck. But man, I don't know if I want to do that kind of job. But I've always had the mindset of helping other people out, and I've always had their best interest in mind. I've just kind of always been that way. Like, even when I went through my whole weight loss journey, bro, there was so many people that reached out to me like, yo, how did you lose weight? Da 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 da. What did you eat? What kind of apps did you use? What workout program did you follow? All that kind of stuff. And I ended up putting together a whole PDF of all the links I used to all the apps and how to use them and etc. My mindset through the whole thing, and I just had a whole copy and paste that I sent to everybody who asked me for advice on that. I was like, shit, like this is my whole kind of free service, for example. It was fire, but I've just always wanted to help people. And low-key, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do that shit without permission and without people asking for advice, and that's low-key what I want to work on for 2023. But fast forward to about 2 years ago is when I started my self-improvement journey. And in those times, literally my only goals were get in shape, get money, and start leading people and giving advice as much as I can. So I joined the MLM, and honestly, the dreams that were sold to me in the MLM lined up with my 10-year plan. You know, my plan of having my own source of income, my plan of leading people, my plan of having a worthwhile endeavor. So I wrote it, bro, and I rode that boat for about a year, which is when I realized, I'm kind of getting scammed. I met a lot of great people in that time, and I learned a lot of great things. I honestly could have went down the path of building my multi-level marketing group and getting the success I want, but it just wouldn't really line up with me morally. So I decided to leave to find something that I can 10x my return on investment and actually own my own business. I took a detour, bro. I took a detour in my life, and considering how young I am, I guarantee you there will be plenty more detours that I encounter along the way to my goals. But I kind of just had to come to the realization that I'm always going to be focused on the end goal. The end goal is never going to change. But sometimes the vehicles and the routes might switch on me, but that's okay. You know, just like the CrossFit guy in your gym, bro. This man is doing some completely different fucking workouts, but I guarantee you 10 years down the road, he's going to look and be just as healthy as you are. I don't really know about the health part because those guys be doing some crazy ass workouts, but you get my point. Just be open to change different vehicles and different routes in your life, because honestly, you don't know what you're missing out on, bro. Like, even if I didn't join the MLM, I don't know where I'd be right now. Like, I learned so much shit, man, and if I didn't go through that experience of, losing money or experiencing a pyramid scheme, what kind of knowledge would I have now? What path would I be on now? In that whole year span, I was grinding, I was building myself up, and who knows what I would have been doing or who I would have met. I could have met the wrong people, right? So I just have to look at the positives of that. It was a good detour. So yeah. Next way is to fall in love with the process, man. And honestly, I didn't even want to. This is so corny, bro. It's literally a cliche at this point, and there was no other way of me saying that. But we all know this by now, bro. Enjoy the process and fall in love with the journey. It's not about the journey; it's about the destination. We get it. For the longest time, I knew this, but I was never actively thinking this way. And there's a huge difference. You can have a lot of knowledge, but if it's not applied, then it doesn't fucking matter. At that point, you're just a corrupt pastor. So there's only a few reasons you should focus and fall in love with your journey. One is that you want to remain as clear vision as you possibly can. And two, would you like your life if you low-key just fast forwarded to whatever age you are now and never actually went through the hardships that you've experienced in your life, or the times where you had negative emotions and actually applied it into learning experiences? Because all those times developed you to become the person you are today. And honestly, bro, if you chose the fast forward option, I'm sorry, but that way of thinking is just going to lead you down a very interesting path. I'm not saying you won't get the results, but you're just going to hate every moment while you're in pursuit of getting them. why not just avoid that altogether? For example, bro, I run an Instagram business where I sell beats to rappers. I'm a producer, if you guys didn't know. And in the beginning of my journey of becoming a producer, that was like 2 years ago, in around September or so, fam, my beats were shit. 5 months down the road, my beats were shit. I started uploading them to Snapchat, and I guarantee you, all the people that are on my Snapchat fucking hated me. Like, yo, this guy's beats are ass. What the fuck is he doing? But low-key, I was enjoying the process, and I wouldn't have got to where I am now if actually making money online with my music. Okay, yeah, it may not be enough. I only have around like 400 followers. Like, bro, I'm still making money every single month from my fucking business online, and I wouldn't have done that if I didn't fall in love with the process of actually getting better at my craft. My beats were fucking shit, but there was days where I would just grind, okay, we're making 5 beats today. What are we going to do? 5 beats, 5 beats, 5 beats. And the thing about it, it was so rewarding because I literally had auditory proof of my improvement. And I guess that's a unique type of situation because a lot of people won't have that. But that's what made me fall in love with the journey, really tracking the process week after week. Or you see, oh, that beat was trash last week, but this week I should getting better. All that kind of stuff made me fall in love with the process, and it just gave me something to chase, bro. Us humans are meant to chase something that's worthwhile. But doing all that, like I said, it made me fall into the process, which I'm still in because we don't have the results that we want yet. You know what I'm saying? But if you can't enjoy the process with what you're doing, then you need to simply stop and really just see if what you're doing is even worthwhile. The last thing I want to say is, bro, okay, yeah, man, I'm an 18-year-old kid, and I really haven't changed much in my life results-wise, but in terms of the way I think and what I do to progress towards my lifelong goals, people really question that. And people are like, yo, how do you do so much? Soon they're going to be asking, yo, how did you do that? How did you do that? That's going to happen really soon, and that can be you as well. A lot of people want to change their life, but they simply just can't. Whether that just be with a lack of know-how or a lack of self-belief, I don't know, or even a lack of how to. Like, they just want clear steps and a clear vision, and honestly, it's not going to be clear steps along the way. You're just gonna have to take the first one. But I hope I gave you perspective on how you can start changing your life. And yeah, love you. Start off tomorrow strong. G. Peace.